Hey folks, I'm glad you're here. My name is Chris, and this is the Sons of Seaver YouTube channel where there's no such thing as bad weather, only bad gear. Today I'm going to be running 7 miles or more in a pair of sandals, specifically Xero's H Trail sandals. I haven't run in a pair of Xero's yet, so it should be fun to compare those to the other brands that I've worked with so far. These are 9.5 millimeters overall, which makes them the second most minimal I've run in so far. The Totem Alpha Black Bear was 8 millimeters. I don't think I'm going to be running in anything this summer that is more minimal than those are when it comes to sandals, but interested to see how these perform. And then I'm going to plug my run data into Grok at the end of the video, and it's going to compare that run data to the run data from the other runs that I've done in sandals, and we'll see if there are any interesting insights that we can glean from that information. Before I get into my warm-up here in the gym and then get out on the road for the run, I want to mention intake. That's what I'm wearing on my nose because, unfortunately, I was born sucking at the one thing you need to do well to survive, and that is breathing. My nostrils are really narrow, so when I take in deep breaths, my nostrils collapse. So I'm wearing these little Band-Aids on each side of my nose that have magnets on them. The intake strip has magnets on both sides, and when I throw this on, it keeps my nostrils nice and wide so that I can breathe, and it helps a ton when it comes to sleep, helps a ton when it comes to running and performing in the gym, just because breathing through your nose is important for performance. If you happen to also suck at breathing, make sure to check the link down in the description and check out intake. All right, I'm gonna do my little warm-up, and then I will meet you out on the road. Alrighty, starting my Garmin. And we are off. A beautiful look at some pre-sunrise Utah mountains right there. Love to see that. I just finished mile 1. It was 8:30. I feel like I'm going at a pretty casual pace. Not gonna push things today at all. If I've got some 9+ minute miles today, will not be mad. First thing I'm noticing about the Xero sandals, feet are perfectly comfortable. Maybe you hear the slapping in the background here. They don't feel like they're slapping the ground. And I feel like my running efficiency is at least as good as it's been with the other runs that I've done. But these are definitely a bit louder, slapping the ground. Not sure if that's a security issue, but again, my feet are not reflecting that slapping sound. Anyway, I'll check in again at mile 2. Mile 2 went a little bit slower, 8:54. And again, I am perfectly okay with that today. We are gonna start a fun little portion of the video here in a second. It is going to be the lakefront time lapse. So the lakefront here is about 2-ish miles long from where I am standing currently, where I'm running currently. I'm gonna pull out my drone and it's gonna follow me from this side all the way down to the point at which I get off and I turn up into some neighborhoods in order to make my run as long as it needs to be. So enjoy the time lapse. Before we get into that, I want to mention that this video is brought to you in part by Creepers Toe Socks. Creepers is the first actual sponsor of the YouTube channel. We love their socks. They're fantastic. You'll see them in every run vlog. They are a merino wool blend that keeps your feet cool during hot runs like this, keeps them warm during the winter because of the properties of merino wool. They are also highly anti-abrasive and they last a really long time. They have the best mix of durability and comfort that we found. So if you're interested in checking out Creepers, make sure to use the link down in the description. It'll auto apply 10% off at checkout. Now let's show you the lake.
Had a little more pep in my step for mile 3 and 4, pulled 2 8:30s, so that's cool. Definitely hitting a wall, but feeling good overall. Hope you enjoyed that lakefront time lapse. You can't see me with the sun in the background here. How are my feet feeling through, I think I'm at 4.5-ish miles now with this check-in. Feet are feeling fine. You can probably still hear that slapping noise. It's loud for me. I don't know if it's loud for you or not. Anyway, going way faster than I thought I would. Probably gonna slow down here at the end, and feet are feeling fine. I'll check in again at the end of mile 6 at the beginning of the last mile. Mile 5 and mile 6 were both 8:54s, exactly, which is super interesting. Anyway, wanted to give you an update. My feet feel great. I am having one issue with the left sandal though, and it's that my big toe is slipping off the inner edge sometimes. I'm noticing it's when my foot is being forced to pronate a little bit more. I pronate a lot naturally. You can probably see that in the slow-mos. But anyway, other sandals are a little bit more forgiving, like the Earth Runners with their shape. Even if you pronate or your foot is sloped, odds are good because of the width of the footbed up at the toes. Your toes aren't going to slip off. Anyway, gonna try to dig for a little more speed on mile 7 here. Gonna pull out the drone and let you guys follow me through the end of the run. Alrighty, 7 miles in the Xero H trail. How did they go? Better than anticipated. I actually haven't even stopped to save the data on my Garmin, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And let's see what my average per mile was. I was at an 8:40 pace, which is like negligibly off the other runs that I've done. The other ones have been like 8:36s, 8:30s consistently. So I'm pretty happy with that considering how I felt when I started. Obviously, I don't have a full read on the data yet. We'll go home and we'll get that plugged in to figure out exactly what was going on with these sandals. But overall, my feet feel fine. My biggest complaints were, one, the slapping sound. Even though I feel like if I were to tighten these any more to my foot, they'd feel uncomfortable. So not sure that's the biggest deal when I wasn't feeling that slapping sensation. It didn't feel like my feet were slapping the ground. It just sounded like the sandals were, which is okay. Number 2 complaint is going to be how my left big toe was slipping off the inner edge of that left sandal. Now, I'm not gonna completely fault Xero for this. If their shape was a little bit better, probably wouldn't be as big of an issue, but I'm sure that has something to do with how I have the straps set up as well, because it didn't happen to my right foot at all. Anyway, gonna head home, going to plug the data from my Garmin into my Grok to let it analyze it and put it up against the other run data from the other sandal runs and do, according to Eric, our Team X-Blades AI analysis of the sandal performance. All right, just plugged the run data into Grok and it gave me a really interesting breakdown at the end for the conclusion. It kind of gave me a best for each sandal that I've run in so far. So for example, the best for speed was the Lems Switchback. It says because of the 14mm soles energy return. That's probably honestly true because of all the sandals I've run in so far, that one has the most squish and then a little bit of rebound. So that was pushing my speed a little bit. The Earth Runner's Alpha sandal was the best for efficiency. My best cadence, ground contact time, and vertical oscillation were all in that specific sandal. Moving on to best for power was the Totem Alpha Black Bear. Now, power output is kind of a new term for me when it comes to running. I don't know what it actually means. Someone can let me know down in the comment section what that means, but that's what the Totem got. And then the H Trail got best for all around
performance. So it wasn't the best performing sandal, but it was the most well-rounded performing sandal, where all the numbers were kind of in the middle range. Now, the thing to note about this is that it's splitting hairs with the numbers on here. When you actually look at them, they are not very far apart from each other at all. For example, my cadence, vertical oscillation, and my ground contact time are all within milliseconds of each other for all of the sandals, but some are obviously better than others, and that's what Grok is taking into account here. Anyway, super interested to see where more sandals that we are currently working with land in this performance arc that I'm building here with AI. If you are enjoying the analysis, let me know down in the comment section. Make sure to like and subscribe, and as always, I will catch you on the road in the next sandal run vlog.